Hey. Okay, so let me see. I have this thing. I don't know why it says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. I don't know why I'm getting this. Um, okay, so I just got a hit. I wasn't even reading on Irv Gotti, but I think I scrolled and I saw that he had passed away. But I also remember a couple of days ago seeing that he was in the hospital, and I just knew right then that he was going to pass. Um, so today I was scrolling and I saw that he passed, and immediately I just started getting downloads about him. And so I posted it on Facebook and I basically said, people think life is random. Life is not random. Um, Irv Gotti is definitely and the I word involvement. And whew, and it has to do with the ritual for the Super Bowl. This is part of the ritual, the sacrifice. And also um somebody is wanting, I think part of this is why someone is wanting to steal his DNA codes. I'm feeling like maybe his bloodline is of royalty and they have access to DNA codes that most people don't have. Or if most people have them, his is different in some type of way. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's like a genius type of capacity. But at the same time, when I started, you know, working with the cards, I could feel he's like an asshole type personality. And he likes that. He likes himself being an asshole to people. And forgive me if this is not him. I'm getting what I believe a message wants to come out. Okay. Um, so I don't know why I'm telling y'all this. I just feel like I'm supposed to. So I'm picking up, I just pulled out 5 cards. I'm going to pull out 5 more. But this is very new. And so I feel like the energy is coming directly from him. So there are some things about the afterlife. And, I also feel like he, of course, knows about the truth, the magical world that we live in, the understanding of sacred geometry, the understanding of how you live in this world successfully because of the mathematics. It has to do with mathematics. And so that's what I kind of feel like his DNA codes hold, some type of mathematical formulation that somebody wants, which I think causes him to be like a genius. I really don't know. I know Irv Gotti had Murder Inc., but I don't know if he was a rapper or anything, or was he just the brains. Again, that's what I feel like the DNA codes are about. It's something about a genius in math in some capacity, but not the math that we were taught. It's the mathematical, sacred geometry, um, uh, codes. His codes are able to, I want to say create, but that's not the word. His codes are able to do something It's almost like, when you program a robot, you can program it to do anything, but if you don't have the mind capacity to program the robot, then the robot can't get programmed. I'm feeling like Herb's DNA program would take like AI to another level, because you have to have something smarter than the robot to enable to program the robot. And this is in his DNA codes as a human, which he really not a human, because he's like a god. I don't know which god it is though. Maybe he'll give it some. Um, yeah, he's a magician and he's good at it. I do believe that I have no idea why I'm getting this information, but thank you for giving it to me, and I hope I'm able to share it in a way that you get your message across. Um, a lot of battle. He had to endure a lot of battle. I feel like his bloodline is, I don't want to say royalty, but I don't have any other word for it, but it's not royalty. I feel like his bloodline has, it's like they have something, and the devil wanted it. It's really what it boils down to. So they sent people in to take it. And it caused for him to have a very difficult life. And the reason I say that is because he wasn't able to truly completely express his gifts and talents in the world, because he was always fighting. He was always fighting. He was always fighting and never really able to express all of the beauty that he had within him. And when I say beauty, it is seeing a person in their element and being fascinated by what you see, because it's not human, it's outer worldly. And he had to fight the devil for his gift. Now ain't that a bitch? The devil gonna that's how they do though. And the devil is different to everybody. Like this one that Herb was battling, it was like the industry. Okay, just one moment. Just one moment. Just one moment. I'm pulling cards. Mm. Oof. Gosh. Mm. Um, there's somebody in his there's somebody in his camp, a female, that is cutting. She's strong. It's like she was groomed for this all of her life. Very strong. Very like well put together. Like I almost wanted to say a female, very beautiful, professional, bold and strong female, but she dresses like a man, but she's not lesbian. But she has a strong masculine energy. very strong masculine energy. Her energy is so masculine, it makes some men feel feminine, which in actuality is their most comfortable energy. So it balances out. But she's very beautiful, very smart, very um she's the type of woman that men and women like because she's feminine and masculine, strong in both ways. And she can cut you down or she can build you up. Um, which made him feel like a little woman, for lack of other words. Um, but it balanced him out, right? And I believe he believed he found that wheel of fortune, everything. I found everything, I have everything. But the past comes up to haunt you. Just when you think you have every all the work you put in, whether good or bad, is coming around full circle. But then it's time to pay back what you owe. And that's kind of where I am now. I'm very much in this channel, but I just don't really want to go no deeper. But I'm gonna go deeper. I just for the record, I don't want to. I'm gonna pull, but I'm gonna stay open because that's just the first layer. I'm not even sure I want to go to the second layer, but I'm gonna go. Okay. Yep. And so, like I said, somebody has and did try to steal his codes from him, his DNA codes. And he's known this. And another thing is he's known that it was time to pay the piper. And that's part of the punishment is the torture of knowing that at any given time is going to run out, that he has to pay what he know he owes. And so he was in this energy of like, how did I end up here? And I could just see his mouth like, how did I end up here? And not being able to change it because you know it's a contractual agreement. What they telling me is you know you signed your name in blood. That's not even how I talk. But really still at the same time trying to live a normal life, knowing it ain't normal. And then judgment has to come. And at this time, he said he just have to be strong. There's no other way to do it. He just has to find his strength. And that leaves him in like a hangman's position, really stuck, being very, it's a C word. What's the C word? Contradicted, being very contradicted internally of you have your family around, everybody loves you, people are moving forward, children are having babies, and you wanting to do the exact same thing, but you know that Your time is limited and you never know when it's going to come. You never know what's going to happen. You never know, the depth of the pain. You just don't know. And that in of itself is a torturous way to live. Always just wanting it to be over, but not really. Stuck in the hangman position. I do feel it is almost like a relief for him. And my only reason for doing this reading is because this energy came to me. I would not have on the first day gone to him. And I'm almost wanting to say today is not the first day. It's just that today is when they put it in public because it almost seems like he's already processed this, or that because this has been hanging over his head for so long, he has began the process of processing it before it actually happened. So when it did happen, it didn't come as a surprise, which was a level of setting him free because it didn't blindside him, because every single day preparing himself for what could possibly happen is like a double-edged sword. On one side, you with your family wanting to pretend and create a new beautiful life knowing that it's not coming. Oof. Always looking over your back, always wondering, not wanting to do anything because you don't know who or where it's going to come from. I feel like in this process he did gain a level of peace because of the immense pressure that he was under. It's almost like, why does the cage bird sing? Like, really, when you think about it, who can answer that question? Why does the cage bird sing? And the only people that can answer that question are people that are caged birds. Because you either find yourself under this pressure, or you get smushed under the pressure. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be your money. It's not going to be your home. It's not going to be your car. It's not going to be your social standing. It's not going to be your beauty. It's not going to be your charm. It's going to be mentally, how are you able to navigate yourself out of death, knowing that it's intimate under the circumstance. It's going to require your consciousness to raise higher than the circumstance and the situation to figure out, how do I navigate myself through this and to achieve success at the end. It is raising your consciousness. That's the only way. So you have to take your consciousness to a God self so that you rise so high above whatever the situation is that you can see which way to go. It's becoming a new human. It's becoming a God man. It is remembering who you are. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna pull some more cards. Hold on. He wants this message to go out to people in the world. He said, this message is not for me. He said, I learned my lesson. This is what came out. Right when he said, I learned my lesson. He said, what America is about to go through is going to cause everybody to have to learn their lessons and learn how to reach their godhood. Is how can you go from a regular, ordinary person to a God? And the first thing he said is going to be, hold on just one moment. Removing the people around you that don't help you, that are always fighting with you energetically, but they smile in your face all the world. The backstabbers. Get away from those people, regardless to who they are. Now I see why he brought me this message. Because it had to be somebody in his family, like mine. Mm. Stay away from those people. Because all they want to do is bring you grief in your heart. If they can bring you grief in your heart, then they will keep you from ascending. This is spiritual war. My phone is ringing again. Hold on. Hey, y'all still there? Hey, Key. What's going on? Oh, I'm doing this reading on Earth. So I'm going to pick back up. I don't want to lose the channel. Okay, so get away from people that don't love you, that don't care about you, that is taking up space. They want to give you heartache. They want to cause you pain. And that's them. But when we recognize that these people were seeded into the earth to try and destroy the children of God, just like Christ. Christ came to show us an example, and this is said in the Bible. Christ came to show us an example of what it looks like to walk the earth amongst darkness. Most people around us are dark. They have no boundaries. They will do anything for physical pleasures, money, food, sex, drugs, dressing cute, having a house, having a car, having lots of relationships. But they are bankrupt of character, morality, peace, a good nature, protection. They're bankrupt of these things. And they have there's nothing that they won't do for what they want. And everything they want is perishable. So they're already cursed in their minds, so they don't mind messing up somebody else. That is their program. Their program is to destroy somebody. The Bible says that they roam to and fro and they can't even go to sleep until they cause people to stumble. This is what Kendrick was talking about, they are not like us. Their program is different. When we understand that we are the original AI, meaning that we don't have to stay the same. We are able to reprogram ourselves to a higher frequency, to a higher consciousness, if we like, to get out of our situations that we're in. When we raise our consciousness, okay, the phone is ringing. Hold on, I'll be right back. Wait a minute, let me stop it. Okay, so raising our consciousness is what we have to have in this season that we're in. Since the beginning of 2025, we're experiencing, the world is speaking to us. Everybody is not able to hear spiritually by looking at what is going on in the world. The planes are falling out of the sky, the planes are colliding. We have orbs, we have angels, we have beautiful things in the sky and not so beautiful things in the sky. What else? We have fires everywhere. These things have been prophesied about. We're in the times that they have spoken of over the last 2,000 years. We're in that time now. So now we're having to raise our consciousness in order to plug in the DNA, the junk, quote unquote, junk DNA they called. It's not junk DNA. It's our abilities to understand what we do in a world that we've never experienced these situations before. So when we plug into ourselves through our DNA by raising our consciousness, like a little helicopter, it just goes right up in the air and you can see above from a different perspective. So now you know, oh, don't go that way because that's a dead end. Oh, it says go this way. This is how I will find my way out. But we have to do the shadow work. The shadow work is releasing anything that does not serve our highest and greatest good. Any area that is heavy for us, release it. Make peace with it. Y'all know my story. And if you don't know my story, go back and look at some of the videos. But long story short, I was in a family that sacrificed my soul, my mind, so that they could have material wealth while I had nothing. But because I learned to turn on, to rise higher than the problem, the Most High gave me the ability to see in the dark and how to navigate out of this situation in which they were continually over and over and over and over trying to do me something, like Christ, like my brother. He told y'all that we would come. He told y'all that we were here, but we were cloaked. We had to learn the ways of this world and how people operate in order to be able to dismantle that motherfucker when the time came. So we had to live and breathe and sleep and eat around our enemy all the time. How do you think we become so strong? Because we came in here, we were created to come in here to dismantle this old way of being. And I feel like this message is from Irv, but it took a different turn. The season that we're walking in, I believe this is going to be the age of the golden age, particularly for people that are on my page. But for other people, it's not going to be that way. And we have to understand that the energy that we're going to be around, recognizing that it's not our energy, that's somebody else's energy. And what do people that are hurting do? They project their energy to somebody else. Put your shield around you so it just automatically bounces right back to them and you unfazed by it. You can see it, you can watch it, you can see what's going on around you, but it does not penetrate your auric field. that you stay grounded, knowing that this time has been prophesied about. Your eyes are open, your third eye is open. You're aware that we are not living the life that we thought we were living. It's something different. Therefore, we have to move different. Obviously, like this is not the time to be on flights. This is not the time to be around people that do not help you in some type of very um, tangible way. And even at that, you still have to be extremely cautious because with the drones, the UFOs, the UAPs, there's a spiritual war going on. And there are some people who are oblivious to it, and some people who are very clear about it, and some people who are even more clear about it. There are different levels of consciousness. And so we realize that what is taking place in the heavenly realms, we can see it now. At some point, it's going to really, fall into the 3D realm. That's when a lot of chaos is going to take place. And you have to prepare yourself before then, like Irv did. Irv knew the situation that he was in. No judgment. But when you find yourself in a dire situation where nobody in this world can help you, couldn't nobody help him up against the powers that be except God, except his spirit team, except his ancestors to raise him above the situation and the circumstance, and you learn how to live under the pressure and still be grateful and still exude love and become a better human being and still being a support for other people that may need your help because they're not as strong as you. When your whole family and everybody that you have known and have loved have conspired against you to take you off this planet, who do you become under the pressure? You become a diamond or do you fold? I'm going to become a diamond. And whatever the situation I'm in, I'm going to learn the deep lesson of it so that I can evolve into the new earth, into New Jerusalem, so that my daughter don't have to deal with this kind of bullshit. Let me handle it so she don't have to deal with it, so she can bring beautiful babies into this life that are not under slavery because we're sovereign beings. This is what this is all about, becoming and actualizing into the sovereign beings that we always have been, but we were imprisoned. And keep in mind that the winner of the war gets to write the story. The story that we have been given has been a lie because we lost the war over the last 500. It was 600 years ago. So the story that we've been given has been a lie because the conquerors won the war. We just been fighting back this whole time. Now we won the war. And that's why you see so many people coming on and teaching about consciousness and doing tarot readings because we won the war. Now we're rewriting history back to what the fuck it should have been before it got stolen. But we also have to keep in mind it got stolen for a reason because something we was not doing. We needed to learn some lessons. What are those lessons? Of loyalty, of character, of dignity, of honor, of community, of protection, of speaking up when somebody do the wrong thing. Don't just let it go by, because what happens then, we have a whole planet that's being taken over by dark evil forces that abuse the rest of the world. So stand up for what you believe in. That's what this is about. And this is the time where the Lord is going to say, well done, my good and faithful servant, or get out of my face. I don't even know you. We at that time. And, some people, they don't have a lot of karma to pay back. And because they were not in this world trying to harm people, but they're just now waking up, yeah, you still in the game. But you got to get going because we don't know at what time the switch is going to happen. We don't know. I'm excited about it. I don't know what it looked like, but I know at some point in a twinkling of a moment, we shall all be changed to the light beings, the orbs that are in the sky. The orbs come down, but then the human shape, or not the human shape, the angelic shape comes out of the orb and we become light beings. We're no longer in the flesh. That makes me happy. We come out of the orbs that we are physically now seeing in the sky as angelic beings, as light beings. No more body. So that means that we can go to different universes and create our own and go to different timelines and dimensions and create our own because we've been in light code lockdown for the last 6,000 years, 2,000 years. Now we're evolving into different types of humans where we can go back and forth. It's amazing. It's an amazing time to be alive. And so I'm starting to open up my readings. If you guys are interested in a reading, you can email me at chemistry, KHEMISTRY 2332 at gmail.com. I'll let you know how that goes. If you are needing any type of energy healing, I can take care of that for you as well. If you would like to know, if you like a reading on what your purpose is, I can help you with that. If you'd like to know, why you were created, I can help you with that. Um, like I said before, I can give you a reading on your lover if you want that. And I see it's 2 people in the chat. I would love to have 2 likes, especially if this information is helping you. This is what reciprocity is all about. But at the same time, when people get information and don't repay it in some kind of way, that's not living under the law of reciprocity. And we are moving into an existence governed by universal laws. So anybody have any questions? I think that's what I had to get out for this reading. Any questions? I'm in the chat. If you have a question that you want me to give you a quick reading on, I can do that as well. All right, so I don't see any questions. And as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, until the next time, namaste.